I may have made a small issue. Well, these are good, aren't they? Got the wrong screwdriver. How is that even possible? Hey guys, it's Luke here and welcome back to another video. Today we're joined, of course, with my Mark 5 GTI today for a video which I've been wanting to film for a very long time. As you can see in front of me, we have a nice little pile of modifications and replacements for the car. And yeah, we're going to be working on my car today, which is something which I very rarely do. In fact, I'll be honest, I've got a little bit of help. A mate of mine has come on down and is going to help me with some of the bits today. But yes, I'm going to show you around exactly what we've got here, and then we'll get straight into getting it all fitted to the car. So yeah, good stuff. Let's crack on. Right, so the main thing we're fitting in today's video is in this box here, which is of course the Revo Induction Kit, which I'm very, very excited to fit. An Induction Kit makes a massive difference to the Mark 5, so we've got everything we need in here. A big thank you to Progressive Parts for helping me out with this thing. So I think that will be the first port of call in terms of fitting things. But in this box over here, we have the majority of the parts. We have a set of open air grills for the front, which makes a small difference, but yeah, something which is pretty cool. We got some upgraded coil packs. We've got the ignition coil red cover. I suppose it's a bit of a gimmick, but something which is quite cool. Something which I do actually need, which is a new oil filler cap. Now on my one, basically the rubber seal on the inside is missing, and so it kind of seeps a little bit of oil sometimes. So that is something which I do need, and that will also smarten things up in the engine bay as well. And then in here, we just have a set of paddle extensions. So some fairly minor mods, to be honest, but it's going to make a big difference to the car, especially that induction kit, which I'm very, very excited to do. And then once that's all done, we'll probably tackle the seat. The seat, by the way, is something which I decided to do. So recently when we did the interior detailing and engine bay detailing on the car and finished off the cosmetic restoration, Mike from Connings did what he could with the original seat. Those of you who watched that video know exactly what we mean. Basically some chemical damage shrunk the leather fibers on the original passenger seat. So I thought I'd buy another one, a replacement. This one came out of a car with 94,000 miles on it, so very similar to the mileage on this, and therefore in pretty similar condition to the rest of the interior. So it's going to be a straight swap. This is of course leather heated seat with all the rails and everything underneath, so it's a full complete package. So yeah, just a straight swap, which we'll be doing at the end of the video, just to kind of tidy things up. And also I will add, I have given this to Mike. He's done the same process as what he did with the other seats in the car, so it'll all be matching and uniform and all good to go. So that's the plan. But like I mentioned, I think first step for today is to get the Revo Induction Kit fitted to the car, and then we'll go out for a spin before fitting everything else. And yeah, get cracking with what is going to be some fairly, well, no, I'm going to say, not going to say major mods. Definitely not major mods. Some more mods to the Mark 5, and I'm really looking forward to it. Let's get cracking. Okay, induction kit is now fitted. Ooh, it's loud, isn't it? Oh dear, it's the little things. The little things. All good fun, all good fun. Okay, so next up, instead of doing some of the other bits first and doing the seat last, I've decided to do it now just because I think it's going to be a bit of a bigger job compared to the other stuff which we've got to do. Now, the last video on the channel was, of course, the rest of the cosmetic restoration for this car, the interior and engine bay detailing. Car overall looks absolutely spot on now, but the only thing letting it down is this passenger seat. It's kind of somewhere in its life just had some harsh chemical spilt on it or something, basically making the leather really hard. It doesn't actually look too bad now we've got all the grime off it. Obviously Mike from Collins Detailing did all the work on the car, but it's not quite there, and so I bought another seat which basically came from a similar mileage Mark V, and so it's just going to make it look a little bit better. So it's the same condition really as the rest of the interior. It doesn't have all this horrible stuff here, but as you can see, I mean, the interior of this car just looks as new at the moment, especially that steering wheel. I cannot get over that. Shiny leather is not good leather. You want like a nice satin or matte finish, which is exactly what we have at the moment. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to cue the time lapse, get this thing changed. It's basically a direct replacement. The one I've bought is of course leather as well with the heated seat. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that does actually work. It was sold to me as being completely functional, so fingers crossed all is okay. But we'll get this done and then we'll move on to the other stuff a little bit later on. So, as some of you are aware, I don't tend to work on my own cars that often, purely just because I don't really trust myself, being honest. I may have made a small issue. So, how do I explain this? So the Mark V GTI comes in 2-door or 4-door, or 3-door or 5-door, however you want to say it. The 2-door variant, obviously, has bigger doors, no rear doors, and therefore a reclining lever on the 2 front seats. I have just realised that this seat here is from a 5-door. Therefore having smaller runners and no lever to get to the back. I can hear the laughing already. So basically what that means is I'm going to have to take this seat out, do something with it, and put the original one back in. Although, to be honest, having said that, now that Mike has done his work on that, it isn't actually too bad. You only really notice it when you touch it. But I've just made a fool out of myself, basically. What a nightmare. But anyway, original seat is back in. Like I said, it's not as noticeable now that Mike has done his thing. See if he can kind of make it any better, which he has done. But like I said, you only really notice it when you kind of touch it, where it's just really just rigid and really, well, just weird for a leather seat. From a distance, it doesn't look too bad. So I suppose after all of that, we'll be leaving the original seat in. But either way, we need to move on to the remaining parts which I need to fit, which are actually in that box. And actually one of them is for the interior, and seeing as we're kind of based around here at the moment, I think we'll do that one first. And bonus, it's really easy to fit. I tell you what, after this, I don't want anyone commenting saying, why do you not work on your cars yourself? This is exactly why. I'm just useless, absolutely useless. Anyway, really quick and easy mod, just got a nice set of paddle extensions. The ones on the Mark V aren't really anything special. These seem quite good quality, and it's just a case of peeling off the red tape and sticking it on the right paddle, which is still quite a lot to ask from me. Anyway, we'll get this done real quick, and then there's a few more bits to do actually at the front end, which is I think everything for the rest of the video. But this shouldn't take too long, and should make a big difference. Well, these are good, aren't they? Right. This video is just turning out to be an absolute fail. Either way, at the front of the car now, we have a set of these open air grills almost, because for some reason on the Mark V, this section here is all covered up. So you've got all the nice honeycomb on the rest of the grills, but then this one is solid, and we don't like fake grills or fake vents or just stupid ugly sections. Anyway, I'm pretty sure, and I really hope, that this is another fairly straightforward mod, but hopefully, unlike the paddle shifters, these are decent quality. Got a Phillips screwdriver. There's just two little screws, one in there and one under there, which you need to undo. Then I guess it just pops out and replaces with these. How hard can it be? Very, probably. Got the wrong screwdriver. How is that even possible? Okay, so the final section of today's video is some nice little goodies for the engine bay. Now, first of all, probably the most important thing is the upgraded R8 coil packs, just so happen to be finished in red as well, which is going to tie nicely with the rest of the car, as well as this. This is just purely a cosmetic thing. The black ignition coil housing, which is going to be directly replaced with the red one. So we've got those two bits going on, and then also something which I do actually genuinely need, a new oil cap, because the OEM one is seeping a tiny little bit of oil purely because the rubber seal on the underside of the cap is missing. So we're going to change that out. That'll be nice with these little bits as well. That'll make things look really nice as well, especially with the freshly detailed engine bay as well. It's going to look really, really smart once it's done. And then once that's all fitted and complete, then that'll pretty much be it for today's video, thankfully. Let me tell you, today is really not my day. So, coil packs are all fitted, just working on this really fiddly little harness thing, but it doesn't fit. No matter what I do, it doesn't fit. Now, let me explain that. Obviously, this is just really loosely put in place because it doesn't actually fit properly, so I'm gonna have to put the original black one back on. Now, before anyone tells me that this is the wrong way around, it is not. Now, what was it that I can explain first, actually? So the actual kind of plugs here, which plug into the coil packs, they don't fit within this, which is really odd. Now, I've tried multiple ways, doesn't work. And also this wire up at the end here. So on the original one, if I put this here for comparison, you have this little kind of slot for the wire to go. And obviously the last thing you want to be doing is pinching any wires. But on this, which is sold as a genuine Mark 5 GTI part, doesn't have it. So this little guy has nowhere to go, and therefore no slot, see? So that's a pain. This really has been an absolute fail today. The fact of the matter is, the original one's gonna go back on, then I'll do the oil cap, and then I'm gonna finish the video because I am so fed up right now. What a fail today has been. Now, I was actually considering never uploading this video, but I think I will, just to kind of prove a point that things with YouTube don't always go well. Yeah, been an absolute nightmare today, but either way, we've got the Revo intake fitted. We've got the original seat back fitted in the car. The paddle extensions haven't fallen off, they're still fitted. They probably won't last a drive home. And of course we have the R8 coils and the new oil cap. Everything else didn't work, failed, or didn't fit. Oh no, scrap that. We also have the open air grills at the front as well. But yeah, some DIY mods to the car. I mean, granted, my lack of skills probably didn't help, but either way, it's been a bit of a fail. But yeah, bit of an interesting one which I won't be doing again. But likewise, I hope you guys have enjoyed. I doubt you have. But if you have, please do make sure you leave a like and make sure you subscribe for all the adventures still to come.